Hello everyone, welcome to BISP Solutions. So, in our previous session, we have seen various standard reports, like you can see in this PPT. We have covered account analysis report, account payables trial balance report, invoice register, payment register, bank account listing, invoice approval status, invoice on hold report, invoice aging report, and supplier report. So, these were the some standard reports which we have seen. Fine. Now, I have listed down some custom reports as well, which are apart from the standard one, which clients generally ask for, like reports which shows the list of all bank accounts under all operating unit, reports which shows the list of all pending payments, SLA accounting error report, report which shows all suppliers, supplier side under all operating unit, report which shows the detail of records stuck in API interface. So these are some of the custom reports which are very common and generally seen asked by the client for their usage. So these are the some custom reports. And as we have seen that standard reports can be generated from the view tab. You can just go to view, request and submit a new request by just finding the report name there and by giving the desired parameters there. You can generate a standard report. But this custom reports, for generating this custom report, you require OBIEE, that is Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition. So basically, what is OBIEE? It is a BI tool, a business intelligence tool by Oracle Corporation to gather, store, and analyze the data for enterprise reports, dashboards, scorecard, and ad hoc analysis. So this Oracle OBIEE also offers a group of web-based tools for reporting and analyzing data based around dashboards built across tables, graphs, files, etc. So this tool also provides a rich end user experience. So basically, this this is BI tool, which we need to use for generating a customized report. Standard one is very easy. You can just go to your submit new request page and you can submit a request and generate it. But for customization, you require this tool, this BI tool. And by using this tool only, you can just generate the customized report or whatever the requirement of the client is. You need to give that, you need to build that report according to that. And by using this tool, you can also add tables, graphs, pivots to that report for making it more attractive and giving it a rich and user experience. Fine. So these are the reports which I have just wrote down. These are some example of the common custom reports which are generally asked. Like if a customer want to see a bank account detail running all under all the operating units and pending payments and SLA accounting reports are. So these reports which I have listed down here are not covered by the standard report one. So we need customized report for which this OBIA is very important tool. So this concept is totally different of the BI tool and is separate concept. So in my session, as my session is devoted on EP module in EBS, so I'm not going to cover that how you can create a report by using this tool. But I just wanted to show you that these are the customized reports which are generally asked by the clients for their usage, and for this customized report, you can go for this tool. So this tool is very useful for that thing. But I'm not going to show any report here because my sessions are for AP module coverage only, and this OBI is a separate concept as a whole. So not covering that much in detail, but yes, you can use this tool for customization of the report, and I have listed on some of the reports as an example. Fine, so these are the some, and depending upon the user and its need, it can go for a number of customization reports, and you can go to this tool and can build the same. Fine. So these are the reports. So we have covered standard report, we have seen standard reports, then we have seen custom reports. Now moving to the checklist of AP period close. So basically what is AP period close? It's a month-end activity or a period close activity in the AP module. So while closing this period, on the period close, there are some activities which one should keep in mind and one should see that it is done or not. So it is a checklist which we should ensure at the time of period close in AP module. So the checklist includes the points like you need to run a subledger period close exception to ensure no exceptions are there. So it is one report, exception report, basically known as subledger period close exception report, which is needed to be run during period close to know any exceptions are there, right? Like any invoice is not validated, or if any invoice is not paid, or if you have not accounted any invoice or payment of that invoice, then these all things will come in the exception report. And when it will come in the exception report, you can go and validate or make payment or create accounting for the same. And after that, only you can proceed with the period close activity. So very importantly, you can run this subledger period close exception report so that you can get a clarity that everything is in place and there is nothing left in that EP module to do. Like invoices are validated, accountings are done, payment is done, nothing is pending like that. Fine. So exception report is very important. Running an exception report is very important. Now the next is ensure that all inbound interface are complete and no records stuck in AP interface. So basically in AP some of the things like supplier and journal, supply invoice can be loaded from the FPDI sheet as well. Templates are used. So one should make sure that while uploading and all, nothing is stuck at the interface level, right? It is properly uploaded to interface table based table, so everything is in place and everything is uploaded properly. Now the next checklist is ensure all the PPRs, that is payment process requests, which we have already covered in our session. You can just go back to my previous sessions. All the recordings you can get from the website, and you can see I have covered also this PPR, how you can create PPR, how you can run PPR, and what is the usage of the PPR. Basically, it is useful for the bulk payment. You can get the selection criteria, payment processing options, and you can run payment process for a whole lot of invoices coming under that selection criteria and payment process. Fine. So this is for the bulk invoices, bulk payment of the invoices basically. So ensure that PPR are either complete or cancelled. There is nothing in between, nothing in between in the process. Right? We have run and it is something pending in between. It should be not like that. Either the process should be completed as a whole or it should be cancelled if not required. Fine. So you should make sure that PPR is also completed. Now the next thing is recurring invoices. So recurring invoices are generated and accounted properly. So basically recurring invoices, I have also covered that in my session, that how you can create recurring invoice. So basically when recurring invoices are loaded, so like these are the invoices created for the expense which are occurring repeatedly in its nature, like rent, electricity bills. So you need to pay this in a regular basis, right? So what you can do, you just use this recurring invoice and can upload in once all the invoices for all the months in one go. So basically, you should keep in mind that all the recurring invoices which you have loaded for each and every month are completed, are validated, and accounted for properly. Fine. So recurring invoices point is very important. Then ensure create accounting is ran and all the invoice and payments are accounted. So basically, before going for a period close, we should run create accounting as well, because if you are not creating any accounting for your invoice and payments, it will not be transferred to GL. So first you need to create accounting for invoice and payment and then transfer them to the GL. So this is very important part. Create accounting is very important. If you will not run create accounting properly, it will come under exception reports. So then you can see that what are the invoices or payments which are not accounted for, and you can create accounting. So first and foremost thing which you need to do in the EP period close, when you come to this period close activity, is to run the create accounting for all the invoices and all the payments. Fine, so that they get accounted properly. First thing is this. Then the next is you should take care of all the invoices or whatever you are using for uploading in the AP from the FBS sheets are not stuck anywhere in the interface. And then you should take care of the recurring invoices are generated and accounted properly. Then you should also take care that your PPRs are complete and not or cancelled. They are not somewhere in between stuck. So these things are very important, and at the end, obviously, you need to run this exception report to see any other exception. So what we will do, let's quickly go to the application and let me show you from where you can run your create accounting, and we will run one exception report and see what it generates in that report. Fine, so let's go to the application first. So I have logged into my application. Let's download my Java account. Go to API visibility. Let's close this. Go to view, request. Go to submit a new request, and here you can search for create accounting. Fine, so you can see here. Just a second. So here you can see create accounting is coming. So for running a create accounting program, you can come to this submit new request page and just select the create accounting here and give the parameter like you need to give a ledger, end date, errors only if you want to generate that, and then include user transaction identifier. If you want to include that, you can set it as yes or no as per your requirement. Rest fields are optional in nature, so you can just give the parameters and run create accounting program from here. So what it will do, whatever invoice and payments which are available here in the system, in the instance of the user with which you have logged in, what it will do, it will create accounting for all those invoice and payments here. Fine, in a one go. But I'm not going to run any create accounting here. I will just run the exception report to see, because I have not created accounting for many invoices and payment. I guess I have not created any accounting for any invoice and payment in my session as well. So let's run the exception and see whether it is giving that error in our exception report or not. Fine. So let's run that report. I'm not running create accounting, but yes, while period closing activity, you need to run this program mandatory so that you can account for your invoice and payment. So it is mandate. So this was create accounting. Now let's go to exception report. So it's a ledger period close exception report. Let's find with exception report whether it is giving or not. So here it is, subledger period close exception report. Just select it. It will ask for the parameters and as well as for the payable, and let me give my primary ledger to it. My primary ledger is PL EBS. I'm just selecting it, and period from and to it will ask. So let's take from Feb to March. Or else we can take March only. Fine. Let's learn for this March 23 period. Let's see what we are getting in this report. Fine. So let's say OK and submit it. Do you want to submit another request? No. Let's go to find and see the status of it. It is running. Just refresh it. it's got completed normally. Let's just view output of it. Open it. Okay, so let's see any exception is coming. So you can see here in the exception, it is giving the detail of the unprocessed or unaccounted invoices. Let's see it closely. So you can see status, all the status here is coming unprocessed, 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 unprocessed. So it's are the invoices which are validated or paid but not processed or accounted for. That's why in this exception report we are getting this list of all the invoices because they are unprocessed. There is no accounting is done for all these invoices. So what we can do, so this is the report before running the create accounting. Let's go back and create accounting and let's see what difference it gives in our report. Fine, so let's do that. Just closing this report. Let's close this one to view request. To submit a new request. Let's try to create accounting here. Okay. Now let's give the parameters. With the ledger and date. Let's give 31st March 2023. I hope the format is correct. Okay. Mode. Let's give draft mode. No. You can also give final mode as well. In draft and final, the difference is that you can do changes in draft mode, but if you will run in final mode, after that you can't make changes. Let's run in final mode only. Let's see. Submitted. No. Go to find. It's running create accounting and accounting program. Just refreshing it till it's come in the status of completed normally. Journal import. Basically 3 requests are running here as we have submitted create accounting.
The post
Just taking some time. Okay, now one more thing, update subledger account is also running now. So we have run create accounting and it is running for request, create accounting, accounting program, journal import. Now update subledger account. So now all the requests got completed normally. Fine, so we are done with this. Now what we will do, we will again run our exception report to see now what it is giving a difference after running a create accounting program in the exception. Fine. So let's run that report, exception report. Let's go to view, request, submit a new request, search with exception. Now let's run the exception report. Take ledger, take period. No. Now let's see. That's got completed. Let's go to view output. Open this. I think this is previous one. No, the new one which we have created. You can see now this time no data found. Why? Because we have run our create accounting program. So you can see the difference in both the report. So I have run first exception report without accounting. So you can see the status there. It was coming as unprocessed in our exception report. And as I have run our create accounting program now in exception report, no data is coming because everything is fine. Fine. So this is basically I was telling about the exception report. Moving back to a PPT. So this was the thing which we were discussing here, that at the time of period close, create accounting is very important. You need to run that create accounting program first. Then you can go for another checklist, like you can see PPRs and recurring invoice generated accounted and all, and you can run at the end exception report to see any exceptions are there. So like we have seen a live example without creating an accounting, our exception report was giving all the information of the invoices which were unprocessed and unaccounted there. Then after we have run the accounting, there was no data in the exception report because we have run the create accounting and all the invoice and payments were accounted properly. So there were nothing in the exception. So this is how you can go for your period close activity in the EEP module, right? Now moving forward here. So there is one more report with the name of Open Account Balance Listing. So basically this report identifies journal ledger accounts with outstanding balance and display the subledger transaction that contributes to that balance. Fine. So that is known as Open Account Balance Listing report. You can run this report, but before running this report, there is some process you need to follow. Like you need to create Open Account Balance definition in the Create Open Account Balance Listing definition page. Then you need to create subledger journal entry and transfer them to GL. After journal entries are transferred to GL, subledger accounting automatically submits the Open Account program, Open Account balances listing data manager program which maintain the records in the open account balance table according to the open account balance listing definition. User can also manually submit this program as a concurrent request, then submit an open account balance listing. So basically, this is an report on a very summarized manner. In a short manner, I can just say this is a report, additional report, which you can run open account balance listing. You can just find this report in the uh, request page, submit new request page here. So you can just go here and go to view request, and you can find this open account balance listing while submitting a new request here. So this report is available there, but the thing which is important to know here is you need to give definition first. Fine. Open account balance listing process requires one definition. According to that definition, only it runs the this report. Fine. So how you can create the definition? I'm going to tell you that, and then we will see how you can run that open account balance listing as well. So let's go to the application and see how the definitions are given for that open account balance listing report. So let's go to the application again to just Java form. Press Ctrl and L. The Java form will get open and search for open account. Go to create. Now, here are some mandatory things which you need to give here, like a code, a unique internal identifier. It need to be here. You need to give a unique code, like I'm giving EBS. Let's say for the demo purpose, I'm giving account balance, a name EBS account balance. Fine. And if you want to add any description, you can add like for which account you are going to use or anything. This report or whatever description you like. Then you need to give a ledger here. Let's give a ledger. After selecting this ledger, you can see these two tabs, journal source and chart of accounts, get activated. Fine. Then there is a define by. You can define it by segment or you can define it by accounting flex field. So when you are selecting segment, you can see journal source is coming and under definition detail charts of account is coming, where you need to give specify by a segment here, one segment here. But if you will select accounting flex field, you can see here journal source is fine. Under charts of accounts, one specific value you need to give here. Under this EBS structure one, what is the charts of accounts? You need to give a specific value here for it. Fine. So here you need to specify one value specifically. And if you will give segment, you need to give a segment here. So this is the basic difference, which you can see by selecting two options here in the define by. Now there is balance side. So balance side determines how you apply transaction, how the applied transaction affect the balance of a account impacted by the original transaction. Like when the balance side is credit, all debit entries are subtracted from the credit amount to determine the amount remaining. And if the balance side you will take as debit, all the credit entries are subtracted from the debit amount to determine the amount remaining. So you can take a side as you require for the report. Then you want to enable, yes, it indicates whether the report definition is enabled. A disabled report definition does not gather, record, or report open account balance data. So you need to enable this. Then you need to add your journal source here, like if it's payable, receivable, or whatever it is. Let's say it's payable. So you need to search for the journal source here. And give you fine. And if you want to give any definition details under your charts of accounts, sorry, I have just clicked on add icon once again, removing the one. So here the segment you can give any segment for any specific segment you want. You just go for to click go. You can see all the segment in the structure, and you want any specific say accounts segment, just select it and give the segment here. Fine. If you want to add any else segment, you can segment value, you can go for that also, right? Under accounts there are various value. So if you want a specific account here under this, you can just go for like I want current assets say, so then I will take that value. Fine. Here also if you want, you can give the value. So this is how you can give your create open account balance listing definition. According to the definition you are giving here, your open account balance listing report will be generated. So basically it is very important. After giving all the information here, just click on this apply and your definition will be created uh, created and saved here, and it is done. Fine. So this is open account balance definition, which we were talking about in the first place here, to create open account balance listing definition by using this open account balance listing definition piece. So this was the first thing in our process of generating the report on open account balance. Fine, so this was the first step. Now when you have uh, given your definition there properly and applied it and saved the same, the next thing which you need to do here is to create subledger journal entry. Create subledger journal entry and transfer them to GL. And after that, journal entries are transferred to GL. Subledger accounting automatically submits the open account balance listing data manager program, which maintain the records in the open account balance table according to the open account balances listing definition. Then after that, you can submit your open account balance listing from the submit a new request page. Fine. So what I have done is basically I have created the definition for my open account balance listing report. Then the next two step, I'm not going to do that. You can just follow the process. Like you can, after that, giving the definition, you can create subledger journal entry, transfer them, and then after all this thing, you can just come back to this submit requesting. Say okay. Now it will ask for the parameters. You can see the first parameter is the report definition. So report definition is nothing but the definition which you have created. You can see here a lot of definitions are created. In a similar manner, I have shown you right now that how you can create a definition. So it is very important to create a definition, because if you will not create a definition, you will not able to link the definition here in the mandatory parameter to run the report. So first you need to create that definition, then give a start date. Then if you want to show the transaction detail and includes rights of and all, you can go for the this fields according to, and then accounts balance you want year to date or whatever, you can just give the same and run this report, and accordingly your report will be generated. And in that report, what you can do, it identify journal ledger account with outstanding balance and display the subledger transaction that contributes to that balance. So basically this report is used for that purpose. So I hope I'm clear with the open account balance listing report and its definition creation. So this is how you can create a definition and run the report. Fine. So I've just given the overview of it. You can just follow the steps which I have just discussed, and you can run the report and see. So this was open account balance listing program. That was the last report here. Now let me just quickly give the quick revision of this AP topics which I have already covered up till now, and what I have done in the AP. So let's go to our very first PPT in the accounts payable. So we have started with the accounts payable definition basically. That what is account payable? It is the sum of a money owed by a business to its supplier, and it's shown as the liability in the balance sheet, right? Then we have discussed about the accounts payable process. That what are the process in the accounts payable? Then what we have done, then we have run the running of replicate seeded data program. It is very important to run this program, as we have discussed that it is a prerequisite before going for any setup in the subledgers, whether AP or AR or anything. You need to first run this report, so that what it will do, it will create whatever the seeded data is there. So what it will do, it will take that all the seeded data from all the relevant modules, and it will share the same amongst all the modules. So basically it help us to share the seeded data amongst all the relevant modules. So this is very important to run. And after running this, we have seen we need to create a responsibility for AP module. Like if you want to work in the AP, you need to have a proper responsibility and with the proper profile options assigned to the user. Then only that user uh, can perform a task in the AP module. So we have created responsibility assigned to user, and we have also created profile options. Like we have given operating unit and GL data access set is nothing but the primary ledger. Then these two profile options are mandatory in nature. Then the rest three, like default primary sequential numbering and SLA additional data access set, that is nothing but the secondary ledger. So these three are optional in nature. We have seen that. Then we have entered our employee. Then we have seen for entering employee USHRMS managed responsibility is important. From that responsibility, you can create an employee and you can assign it in the people's field in user. So we have seen and covered that also. And we have defined our inventory organization. Basically, inventory organization was not the focus area in the AP, but as we have seen in our options like payables options and financial options, there is a mandatory field which asks for the inventory organization. So for defining inventory organization in that options, we need to create an inventory organization here. So we have seen this thing that how you can create. Then we have covered our financial options. In financial options, we have seen various tabs like accounting financial options tab, supplier purchasing financial option, encumbrance, human resource, and taxation. So these were the some tabs which we have seen in the financial options, and we have uh, given our information or data according to our use. Basically, these options what help it helps us to default these options which we are giving here for use in our Oracle financial application. So it helps us to get a default value for all the fields which we are setting here for use in our application, financial application. So this was the financial options we have seen. Then we have also seen payable system options, which were basically devoted to the suppliers fields, or the information related to suppliers were given here. Like, and then we have also seen payables option. Under payables option, we have discussed about the automatic offset method, exchange rate, matching payables option, withholding tax payables option, supplier payable options. So we have covered various types of options under payables options as well, and given the required fields as required by the user, we can give all the options here. Our financial options, payable system, payables system options, and payables options here. Fine, so we have discussed all these options, and we have seen how we can open a period in AP. Because if you will not open a period in AP, you will not able to create an invoice or payment or any task in that. So opening of the period is very important. So we have opened our accounting period in payables. We have seen that when we have discussed about the payment terms, like payment terms is nothing but the due date for your invoice, like when you need to pay it, like, and how you can create a payment term. I have given one example of net 30, and we have also discussed that for each installments, three level of discount is given in the creation of payment term. Like if you will take here first installment of 25%. Then for 25% installment, you can give three levels of discount, like first discount, second discount, and third discount. And in a similar manner for your second installment of 25% and then third installments of 50%. So we have covered all these things and discussed all these things, and we have seen how we can create a payment term. Then we have defined our supplier. We have seen how you can create a supplier here, supplier side, and then we have seen how you can create a bank branch, and bank account, because for dealing with the payments in the AP, you need a bank branch, and bank account, and these setups are covered by your cash management module. So you need a cash management responsibility to configure your bank branch, and bank account here. So what we have seen here how you can create responsibility and cash management, and how you can create a bank branch, and bank account, so that you can use the same in the payment in the AP module. So we have done all these things. Then we have also discussed about the payment document, that what is the payment document, how you can create the same. Then we have discussed about the payment process profile, which is very important to control the payment processing, and it is asked as a mandatory field whenever you create an payment. So basically, this helps us to control the payment processing. So very important payment process profile. Then we have created one invoice. Then we have make payments, with payment and direct payments we have seen there. Then we have discussed about the XML publisher templates and formats. So these we have covered. Then we have discussed about the payment process template. So payment process template are the templates which are helpful and simplifies the pay run processing. So when you will run payment process request, you need to give a selection criteria, payment processing options there. So to avoid repetitive tasks, you can go for a template. You can create a template with all the selection criteria and processing option, and while running that payment process request, you can just give your template there and run the payment process request there for the invoices. It will pick the invoices according to your selection criteria, and payment will be done according to your payment and processing option that you have set here. So we have discussed all this thing. Then we have also discussed recurring invoices, like which are repetitive in nature, like electricity bill and rent. So what are the configuration we need to do there? We need to create a special calendar. We need to create a distribution set. Then we can create a recurring invoice. So we have covered recurring invoices. Then we have covered how you can create a withholding tax invoice. So what is withholding tax? Tax basically it is like for unregistered supplier. So you required, like you have taken something goods or you have taken some services from the unregistered supplier. So you need to hold some of the amount from that payment you are going to give to the supplier, and pay that to your tax authority on the behalf of the supplier. Is known as withholding tax basically. Then we have also covered prepayments in our previous session. In our last session only I have shown how you can create a prepayment invoice for all the steps is there. So prepayment is nothing but an advance payment to a supplier. You can just give an advance to a supplier, and you can use that advance supplier for your standard invoice in future. So this is prepayment invoice we have seen. Then we have also seen debit memo and credit memo, that how you can create debit memo, how you can create credit memo in our previous session. What is debit memo and credit memo? Basically, credit memo is a document from a supplier that provides a credit for goods and services, and debit memo is a document which is not sent by the supplier. We ourselves raise this memo. It is known as debit memo. Then we have seen our standard reports, various type of standard reports we can run. And apart from the standard report, there is something customized report required from the client to customer, the user. You can create this report as well as by using OBIEE, that is Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition. And then we have seen the checklist of AP period close, and we have also seen how you can run your exception report, and how create accounting is very important. Otherwise, your exception in the exception report, you will get all the invoices and payment which are not accounted for. So we have seen all these things. Then we have discussed about the open account balance testing process. So this was all about the AP module. So this is all for today. I think I have done with all the things. So thanks for joining.